Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I thought I was gonna come on and finish up my last video where the video cut me off and I ran out of storage, but I was just ranting that night, so I kind of was like, everything's good, doing fine, trying to get on a good uploading schedule so that there'll be some consistency, but I just hope you guys understand, with the kids, I'm just getting used to this. So anyways, I'm gonna get, start figuring something out so that there'll be structure to what I'm doing. But I do know that tomorrow on Nicole's channel, Real Talk Recovery, I'm gonna go on there and do another interview. But I was brainstorming, trying to figure out what I could talk about, and I thought about a funny story. I've got numerous running from the police and hiding from the police, and they usually don't ever end up well. I try, but it doesn't usually work out. But this one, anyways, I'm just gonna tell this story. So, this was in November of 2017, and I remember that I had my bed date for treatment, or for detox, at that time, and I was going to treatment right after detox, and it was November 25th, I think, is when I went to detox, and then I got to treatment November 30th, and that's why my clean day is December 1st of 2017. So anyways, it was mid-November. I think it was actually right after Thanksgiving or right before Thanksgiving, but either way, it was I was in the trenches. I was really doing bad. I was I was doing bad, but I was doing well in my, it's just messed up. If you know, you know. But I had 2 hotel rooms in Fife. Well, you guys probably don't know. Some people might know what Fife is, but some people might not. But I had 2 hotel rooms, and one was right next to the casino, and one was down the way, in the trap. So of course, this night I was in the trap at that hotel, and so if I remember right, the police had came. This was a hot hotel. There was, it's not even a hotel. It's a motel, and the police were doing sweeps, right? And I always had warrants, misdemeanor warrants. I stayed with them, and there was just I never went to court at that point in my life. I think I have record-breaking failure to appear for court. So so I knew I had warrants. My motel room was in my name, and the police had been sweeping and checking everybody's rooms, and then going to the doors where people had warrants and taking them to jail. So I left for the day and went down to the casino and just hung out at the casino and did what I was doing, and then went to my other room. But the thing about my other room was that it wasn't in the mix. It was out of the way. I mean, it was still in the mix, but there wasn't the things that I needed, which were drugs, was not readily accessible at that hotel. So it was no matter what, I was gonna have to go back to this to this hotel, the trap. And so I tried to play it off. I tried to go to the casino and go to my other room and stall as long as I could. But the time came, and I needed to get what I needed. And so I walked down to the hotel, to the motel where the police had been earlier that day. And I tried to walk on the back street so that I wasn't on the main strip, and I just tried to sneak my way into my room, because I knew once I got to my room, I could make a phone call to somebody else in the hotel, and they would be able to come up and bring me what I needed. So I get to the hotel, I make it up into my room, and when I make it up into my room, I see the police pass by the hotel, and I'm like, oh my God. As I'm getting to my door, opening my door, I see the police pass by, and I'm like, oh my God. But at this point, it's this is an active hotel. So it's did they see me? Did they not? It was 1 or 2 in the morning. It's late night. I was like, did they see me? Did they not? And I just wanted to believe that they didn't see me, right? So I get in there and I hurry up and I call the room that I need to call. And I'm like, hey, can you bring me this? And of course they were like, sure. So they run up, they bring it, and then they leave. And when they leave, I'll, obviously start getting high. And 2 minutes later, when they got back to their room, they call me and they're like, hey, the police are out here everywhere. And I'm like, oh my God. Because I had just told them that, I just snuck back and hopefully the police don't come. And so when they called, they were like, hey, the police are out here everywhere. There's like 4 or 5 of them and we don't know what they're doing. And I'm like, oh my God. But the thing was, they just saw somebody, like if they're out in the parking lot, that means they just saw somebody leave my room. So I'm like, did they stop you? Did they talk to you? And they were like, no, they didn't. So I'm like paranoid but I'm still like, okay, I obviously need to get high. So I get high and I'll get to this actually. So anyways, I'm in there. I turn all the lights off. I'm like in the corner of the bathroom and I'm like trying my best to be like, nobody's in here. Right. So, and of course my door is locked, but I know if I lock it from inside, they're gonna know that somebody's in there. But I have to, like, I hope this makes sense. There's like a deadbolt thing, right? That you can lock from inside. But if I lock that, then that means they know I'm in here. So I don't lock that. Which, this was a risk, because I was like, crap, but my door was locked. Like, they can't just come in. You know what I mean? My windows are locked. Like, they can't just come in, I thought. So anyways, I'm sitting there, I get high, and then I'm really paranoid, okay? And so then I'm really like, so I'm like army crawling on the ground and like trying my best not to make any noise. And then lo and behold, it's like, and I'm like, and they're like, Kayla Lewis, we know you. Oh, that's my last name, if anybody didn't know. Kayla, we know you're in there. And I'm like, oh my God, they know I'm in here. And I'm like, no, they don't. No, they don't. And I'm just like begging, like, please. Like, and that's when everything clicked. I was like, Kayla, you're going to treatment in a couple days. Like, you can't go to jail right now. Like, of course, there's always going to be a reason I can't go to jail. But like, it was a valid reason. And like now, that's why I'm part of the reason I'm telling this story. Like, because there is a valid reason. Like, I went to treatment and I'm still clean. So it's like, anyways, so they're like, we know you're in there and, come out. We have a warrant for your arrest. And I'm just like, hey, they're bluffing, because I've dealt with the police numerous occasions. And I'm like, they're bluffing. They can't come in. Like, they're bluffing. And so I lay there for quite a while, right? And, so they're not letting up. They're knocking. And I'm just like, oh my God. So finally I hear them and they're like, fine, if you're not going to open the door, we're just going to go get management to open it for us. And I'm like, oh my God, that's what they're going to do. And then sure enough, they always have like flashlights and stuff. And sure enough, all the flashlights went away. And I was like, oh my God, they're going down to management. What am I going to do? So I start looking around, like, where the fuck am I gonna hide? I'm in a hotel room, like, where am I gonna hide? And of course, I'm homeless at the time. I'm by myself too. Eric was in jail, and so I'm by myself. So all I have in this hotel room is there was 2 beds, all my clothes everywhere, and at the time I was stealing from stores and stuff too to survive. And so I had a bunch of clothes and makeup and just stuff, and then I had a bunch of empty suitcases. And so it was like desperation. It was just like survival, and like automatically I just was like, I'm getting in this suitcase. I'm just gonna get in this suitcase, and hope for the best, right? And I had like 3 or 4 suitcases, and 2 of them were huge that I was much like, mind you, I was like half the size I am now. So I could fit in suitcases at that time. And then I had 2 like smaller ones, right? So, and the only reason I was able to do this is because they left to go get the management key, right? So I crawl into the suitcase, right? And I haven't zipped it closed yet. It's huge. It's a big like suitcase. I had it for a while. I finally got rid of it, but so I climb into the suitcase, and so I had all the other suitcases. I started shoving clothes in them so that those bags were heavy, right? So I start shoving clothes in them, push them all around the room so they're all just sitting up, right? So there's like 1 here, you can't see, 1 here, 1 here, and then 2 on the side of the bed. 2 on the side of the bed. So I finally, after I get all of that stuff organized, then I get back into mine, zip mine up, and wheel, with my foot out, push into the corner, right? And I'm just like, cross my fingers. Because my rationale is like, this isn't going to work, but I might as well try, because I'm thinking they're going to at least open the suitcases or move them and see that it's heavy, and then I'm screwed, But anyways, so if you picture this, like it's a hotel room, there's 2 beds, and then there's like a small space on this side. And so I have the suitcase I'm in right here, and another suitcase with some clothes in it right here. And then the other 2 suitcases are right here in front of that bed. So I sit in there, I'm shaking, but I have enough time to kind of calm down, but I'm high. So it's just a lot, right? My heart, I feel like you can hear my heart beating. And so then I hear again, knock, knock, knock. Kayla, last chance to come out. Last chance to come out, whatever. And I'm like, I'm already going for it at this point. You guys have to find me. So, and sure enough, I hear the key go in. It's like, door opens, and they're like, 5 police, come out with your hands up. And I'm sitting in the suitcase, like, trying my best not to breathe. I'm like, swear. And I'm in there, not moving. And I can hear them shuffling through the room, and they're like, oh, these drug addict tweakers. You know how, I'm sorry, but anyways, don't let me go on that tangent. But, so they come in, they're like looking through everything, and so I hear them, and they start opening up suitcases, and I can hear them open up the 2 smaller ones at the front of the bed, and they push them aside, and then I can see in the suitcase their flashlights, right? And they flashlight down, they flashlight down where the 2 suitcases were, one where I was and one that was sitting there. Flashlight goes there, they lift up the mattresses, they lift up both the mattresses, they look under the beds, they go into the bathroom, and they're like, man, all clear. And I'm like, no fucking way. No way. And they leave. They walk out, they leave. And I kid you not, I stayed in that suitcase for like 2 hours. I fell asleep in that suitcase. I think this has happened to me before too, with like adrenaline. I think it has a lot to do with adrenaline. Like when your adrenaline is running so high, because this has happened before when I've ran from the police and I've fallen asleep in my hiding spot, because it's just like so much going on that your body just shuts down. Because I was in that suitcase curled up and woke up and was like, am I good to move? Like I still didn't know if I could move, and then you kind of sit there and you wait, and it's like, but here's the thing, like if you're somebody who struggled with addiction, like especially when you're on opiates and you fall asleep, it doesn't matter how long you sleep for, your body like feels like, or at least for me, this is in my experience. It was like I woke up, but my body felt like I needed to get high again. So I was like pressured to like, okay, because I would have stayed in that damn suitcase all day if it wasn't my addiction screaming at me that I needed to get high again. So anyways, I fell asleep in there, woke up, and then sat there again for a little while to make sure that it wasn't, all that paranoia, like, gotta make sure it's really all clear. And, yeah, and then I got out of the suitcase and looked around and was like, oh my gosh, I got away with that. And it's all like, whenever I reflected on all of this, like, I think it was I know it was when I was in treatment and I was talking to my roommate about it all. And it's like, those are the little things that like make me, like, people might look at me funny by saying this, but I feel like God works in my life in really mysterious ways, because like I needed to get to that date. In order to save my life, I needed to get to treatment. And I only had a couple days left to get to treatment. And I made it to treatment. Like, and that might be, some people might think like that's not how it works, but that's just how it has worked for me. And, it's kind of a funny story, but it does have a good ending because, I made it to treatment and, stayed sober. So, and I think I was saying in my last video too, like I just celebrated my 2 years on December 1st, which super cool, really exciting, and it's a huge big deal to me because I think the longest I've had of like real sobriety ever before was like 6 months. So, yeah, it's just super exciting. So anyways, that's just like a quick funny story. I hope you guys enjoy it. And I think I'm going to film some more videos so that I have more to put out because, like I said, my like memory card ran out and I really just don't understand. Like probably just need to get a new memory card, but for the time being, my baby's dad's letting me use his phone for the weekend so that I can record some videos to put out. So anyways, thanks, babe. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe if you like and want to subscribe. And see you in the next one. Bye. How do I stop it?